They say people don't just vanish, that every disappearance has a reason, a trail, a mistake, a moment that explains it all. But what if that moment never comes? What if someone steps off the edge of the map? Not into the woods or the dark, but into legend. This is the story of Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student who left campus one cold February day, drove into the mountains of New Hampshire, and was never seen again. It's not the oldest unsolved case. It's not the bloodiest or the most famous. But it might be the most haunting, because we still don't know whether Maura was running from something or toward something, and honestly, we may never know what she found at the end of that snow-covered road. It began on February 9, 2004. Maura was a student at the University of Massachusetts, Amherst. Smart, athletic, from a tight-knit Irish family. She had plans, she had problems, she had secrets. That Monday, she emailed her professors and said she was taking a week off due to a death in the family, a death that hadn't actually happened. She packed up her dorm room, withdrew $280 from an ATM, bought alcohol at a local store, and got in her Saturn sedan. She didn't tell her friends where she was going. She didn't tell her boyfriend. She didn't tell her family. She just left. Sometime around 7:27 p.m. in Haverhill, New Hampshire, a tiny town nestled in the White Mountains, her car slid off a winding rural road and hit a snowbank. A local woman heard the crash and called the police. Another neighbor offered help. Maura declined. She said she'd already called AAA. She hadn't. There was no cell service in the area. When police arrived, about 7 to 10 minutes later, she was gone. No footprints in the snow leading into the woods. No signs of a struggle. Just an abandoned car, a cracked windshield, and a smell of alcohol in the air. And Maura vanished. What followed was chaos disguised as a search. Initial police response was slow. Hours passed before they treated it as a true missing person case. The first night, authorities assumed she'd wandered off drunk and would come back. But the next day and the day after, the silence stretched. And by the time helicopters scanned the woods and dogs traced her scent, it ended abruptly, 100 yards from the car. Then, nothing. No phone, no keys, no Maura. Her family was desperate. Her father drove up immediately and clashed with local police. Her boyfriend arrived, distraught. People searched, flyers were posted. But from that night on, the trail was cold. And then came the theories. Some believe Maura staged her own disappearance. They point to her recent behavior, an earlier car accident days before, a possible DUI, credit card fraud charges, and a vague sense of emotional unraveling. She'd been crying at work the week before. She'd emptied her bank account. She'd researched cabins in Vermont. Was she planning to run? Did she want to start over? Others think she met with foul play, that someone picked her up on that road, that she was taken, that she ran into the woods to escape someone or something and never made it out. Or maybe she died in the snow that night and nature hid what was left. There were strange details. A rag stuffed in her exhaust pipe, which some say points to car trouble. A bottle of wine spilled in the car, but no sign she'd consumed much. No clear footprints, even though it had snowed lightly. A man allegedly seen smoking a cigarette near the scene that night, never identified. And then there were rumors. Whispers that the locals knew more than they said. That the police had, botched the case. That Maura's family was keeping secrets of their own. Reddit threads lit up. Podcasts exploded. Internet detectives built timelines down to the minute. But with every clue came more questions. And with every theory came more uncertainty. Was she pregnant? Was she meeting someone? Was she afraid? Her boyfriend revealed strange voicemails. Her sister admitted Maura had struggled emotionally. Her father insisted it was foul play. No one could agree. And over time the story stopped being about what happened and became a mirror for what people wanted to believe. Maura became a myth, a runaway, a victim, a symbol. The case was one of the first true crime mysteries to go viral. In the early 2000s, Before missing white woman syndrome was a buzzword, before social media sleuths were mainstream, Maura's story struck a nerve. She was young, pretty, and vanished under, eerie circumstances. It felt like something out of a novel, but it was real. And the most painful truth is that people do disappear. Without warning, without reason, without trace. Years went by. Investigations were reopened, new digs were ordered on nearby properties, bones were found once but DNA ruled them out. Leads came in, then dried up. A man confessed, then recanted. A house was searched. Nothing. Her family still holds on. To hope, to grief, to a belief that someone, somewhere, knows more than they've said. Maura's case remains unsolved, but it's never been forgotten. Because it reminds us of the narrow line between ordinary life and utter mystery, of how fast someone can slip between the cracks, of how haunting a single empty car on the side of a snowy road can be. What happened to Maura Murray? No one knows. And maybe that's what keeps us looking. Not just for her, but for meaning in the spaces where answers should be.